Back to Lords of the Realm 1. I believe I didn't tell you before that each cattle can feed 10 people. That means that cattle are essential in this game. Absolutely essential. You can't do much without them. Let's see. Boom. So you're going to have to mix your cattle with your wheat. One other thing, your population will grow very quick in this game. You kind of have to watch it. The most important things you have to do is unfollow fields. If you play on hard, of course, you will have to start unfollowing fields immediately because they will start you with all these crappy fields in the game, and you just have no choice but to unfollow fields. Well, you have to watch these as well to see like what you guys are eating. Because occasionally, if you don't have enough, right now they're eating grain. But if they don't have enough grain, they'll start eating cattle or sheep if you have them. So you have to watch out. Make sure that you have enough of those. Otherwise, you'll make a stupid mistake. And you'll be like, oh, I lost it. So my people are currently pretty happy. Because I'm trying to increase my population, right? Like I'm trying to get my population up so I can unfollow these fields as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, of course, the downside is that you eat food more rapidly. Another thing that you can say about this is you kind of have to be careful. So with 76 farmers, I would actually plant less than you, I would plant less, right? You have to be careful. You don't know what season it is. So, boom. Like, are you claiming the fields or are you planting them? Right? That's kind of essential as well. Okay, do you consider yourself a fitting lord? My jester would make a better ruler. Thanks, buddy. Best friend, that's the knight, obviously. Baby boom, many birds this month, great. So I got a huge population, except, see, look, 2 cattle. See, it's saying that I'm going to, so I just sowed this grain. So now I'm going to have to buy some food. Okay. Boom. Buy some food, get some more cows, and perhaps be slightly abusive. I mean, I don't like to be abusive, but you know, maybe a little bit more abusive. Like, yeah, actually, let's go full-blown abusive, because my population grew way faster than my food reserves. So I have to discourage my population from growing. Pretty crazy, but it is what it is. So people will be very unhappy, right? I have no grain, no food. Boom, I've done all I can to discourage people from coming to the colony. Immigration. To discourage immigration. But let's see how many crowns I got. Maybe I can buy more cows and hopefully prevent some issues, right? Let's see if that does anything. Not much. I don't know. Let me see if I go back, that's the same exact thing. Yeah, I just went. So just go back. And boom. My people are trying to eat cows now because I have 0 grain. So nope. If I go to half ration though, 220 times 2 would feed, 440 people. So now I'm going to have to go down to a little bit on the taxation. It's part of the management of the game, basically. You don't. Boom. I don't want to. I want my cow population. The ideal, in my opinion, is for the cows to feed everybody without the grain. The grain would just be a supplement. But that's not always easy. So let's grab the food. Grab all the food we can right here. We meant so that in the next turn, we can give them full rations again. See, now I have all this grain. So now this is your choice. It's here. Boom. I want them to eat grain. Boom. Eat as much grain as you can. And then if you want to kind of manage it, you have to think to yourself, you can actually use more strategic management. So right now I'm eating 12, right? So there's 4. I have to basically have about 50 grain left over. So like we're in the season where we're sowing grain, right? Like, so I need 50 grain left over to sow it. So I don't want to put all of the grain in to the earth. I need to put in, let's see how much grain I got, 111 right now. I really don't only want to put like say 60 into the ground. Right? So let me, boom. I really don't want to put everything into the ground. See, it's about, let me show you. Okay, so I don't want to put everything into the ground, basically. Because if I put everything into the ground, they're going to eat. I'm not going to have any food. Okay, so I put 53 and I didn't put a lot into the ground, obviously. Boom. But at least I can reclaim some fields. And we'll worry about that later. Get some reclamation. Hmm. Come on, come on. All right, his first sign of war. If you right click when you see that little button, it shows you where the troop movements are. Of course, for losing grain. Duh. Okay, so we're now in autumn, so we are grabbing the harvested grain. Boom. Come on, grab some grain. We didn't get a lot, but next season we can handle it. Boom. Ah, jeez. Okay, you lose some happiness from superstition. So now we're sowing grain again. So now I need about 64. Ugh. I might just have to go to half rations soon because we won't have any grain. Let's just plant everything, basically, and see what happens. We're going to go to less than happiness. Whatever. Because we just planted everything, basically. Do-do-do. Okay, this guy is here. Forget it. Let's go. I don't even care. Move. All right, our population's increasing, so gotta watch this. See? Boom. Gonna have to go to half rations because we don't have any food, but we're gonna get our towns, get all that stuff excavated. Again, and get all these towns, get all this excavated out, and then we'll eventually be doing something else. Just making sure that they're not near me. Oh wow, even at half rations, they're starting to eat cattle. So wow, we lost one due to flooding. Yay. Our we're now claiming the grain, so but looks like we only get 112 grain. I don't want to lose any cattle, so we're gonna go to quarter rations, which is gonna make them a little bit unhappy, but we'll go back to full rations next turn. Wow, our population it does not matter. Like, that's one of the things about this game. The population is crazy. What is this? Is flooding still? It's still flooded? Like, they just have a flooded one right there. Maybe excavation, but, oh. But, let's see. How much food do we got? We got some grain. Bring it up. Eat that grain. I don't know. I don't want to lose all of it, man. It's really hard to keep up on this because the food goes so quick. I mean, crazy amount of food. And yet, boom, they just want to take it all away. So let's go to whatever, we'll reclaim one of our lands, and then the rest will go to farming. Yield to me now. Oh, shut up. I will fully admit that I am not a professional at this game. I mean, this is a 1994 game. To be honest, I was alive, but I was just a child. I never played this game when we first came out. But man, it's fun. It's a really good game, though. Let's go, boom. Let's take, how many do we have to reclaim? Two more lands to reclaim. Here, two more of it. So it's just go to work. Just get those lands reclaimed. And next turn it'll be so easy to reclaim it. I won't even have to use like the full amount. Go. That's all I need to reclaim it. And then the rest of it's fine. So now I can just start. Let's make some mining. Actually, I was going to do this. We're going to buy sheep. Sheep are beautiful. We love sheep. You need shepherds for sheep, but shepherds, not too many, you can see. So the mining slash building weapons aspect of this game is pretty crazy. They don't produce one, you know, they produce a lot. Like it will not produce just one, it'll produce a ton. You have to produce, it'll produce like a one, it'll put like a one in the checkered box, but it's really enough to produce like 100 weapons. So you don't really just do one. It produces a lot. A lot of weapons. But obviously it's a lot easier to just, like in Lords 2, you could just produce some, you know. You don't have to wait for that thing to fill up all the way, which I'll show you. And some of my people are now getting unhealthy because they're only eating half rations. But you see, like, it's crazy how hard it is to keep up with the population growth. Which one are we in? We're in autumn. Okay, so man, I would have thought I had already reclaimed all of my fields. But boom, there we go. But I can grab almost everything here. In fact, I will grab everything. It would really be helpful if I could just, you know, see them move on the overland map. Like on Lords 2. You totally forgive it. All right, let's start eating some grain. We're gonna start eating some of that grain. Okay, so it must be winter. In winter, the sheep breed. So they get, look, see now I have more sheep. Boom. Planting a lot of grain. And you see this little bar? When that bar fills up, you have produced one of that resource. I mean, it's pretty crazy. What is my tax rate right now? It's only 10. Okay, and what's my people are relatively happy. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna milk them for a little bit more resources, a little bit more crowns. The bishop has created Senlik Castle. So he made a castle, which castles are ridiculously expensive. So you just wonder, where did he get the resources to build a castle? But you know, it's AI. I have 1,000 population. And we have unfollowed all our fields. That's spectacular. Just great, guys. See if we can get more cattle by spreading them out or not. Maybe. Yep, we can get more cattle. That's good. Without hurting our fertility because we have plenty of fertility. Let's see if I spread it out even more, if I can get even more. Yep, I can get 3. That's good. It's great. Like the more cattle I can get. Boom. Still working on some iron. Boom. Get me some iron. And actually, at this stage, we might have people who we dedicate as armorers. So now these people are just responsible for learning how to create weapons. And you can pick the weapon here, right here. What weapon do I want them to produce? I want them to produce swords. I can have them to produce swords, axes, crossbows, spears, maces, longbows. Spears and swords are pretty good. They're just about equivalent to each other. You know, I'll just have them produce spears. They're completely unique. Again, you don't really. Spears are kind of like pikes, I guess. Kind of like them, right? You can see your choices with maces, longbows, and the armor is the armor is for your knight or for knights. Up, we see a battle coming over here between those two. And I see I see somebody coming towards me. I might have to defend myself soon. People are in mixed health. Okay. How many crowns do I have? I'm gaining crowns pretty quickly. That's good. Boom. Come on, hurry up. Get me some iron. Oh, by the way, it's like the people train at getting certain items, right? Like I'm putting them all on iron, but you saw the percentage right here goes down. So it's like they're training to do it. And as the percentage of people trained will go down because I'm putting more people to work on it. Right, like that's their proficiency rating. So he's decided not to conquer this town. He's heading up here. Okay, so I gotta watch it here. See, look, they want me to either eat sheep or grain. So my grain reserves have gone down, so I gotta half ration it. Even at half rations, my population is so huge that they can't eat. Look at that. Boom. So I had to go all the way to grain since they wanted to eat my cows, which of course I do not want them to do because the cows are my base. Most annoying thing about grain, of course, is the season right here. I got grain to take, but then I have people doing other things. I got to remove them if I want to get this food, which of course I need. I need my food so my people can eat. All right, so now I have some wool. I can sell the wool for money. I have no mercenaries right now. Well, I'm going to go all in. Boom. all in on sheep. Because I've unfollowed all these fields. Now I can start going, gung ho on sheep because they're a valuable resource to me. They create wool. Does the burden of command rest heavily upon you, murderer? Yield to me now and live. Oh, shut up, Baron. Lamer. Okay, so lost some population, lost some happiness because, well, that doesn't make any sense. I go to full rations and I lose all that. Okay. So right now we need the farmers to plant some grain. This is winter, so I'm going, as I mentioned, I'm going all in on the sheep here. I want my sheep. I could devote another thing to grain here. I want something else to grain, and I would plant more grain. So I could go like this. It could be like this. Let's plant some grain here. Field waiting to sow grain. And then I would need double the farmers to do that. To plant, because I can grant 100, a max of 300 in that area. Let's see. Probably don't really want to do that though. Like, yeah, that's enough. I don't want to plant everything. I got people, do I got mercenaries? How much money do I have? I know I spent almost all of it, so. Nope. Okay, wow. My people are crazy. All right. We don't need all these farmers anymore. Just need enough farmers to maintain. So how much did they plant? They plant 217 in each one. Okay. And hurry up and give me some iron already. Population is growing very rapidly. And the Earl has created a castle. So after all those seasons, we've now created. We have one iron. One iron, guys. All right. So now spears. Want them to start making some weapons, guys. Come on. I mentioned it's a very laborious process. Okay, so now this weapon thing is starting to move. Slowly starting to move. We're trying to grab that wheat now. Boom. Grab the wheat that we planted. Come on, guys. All right, we got lots of miners here. Fortunately, you have to kind of push them back. And that's the problem. You have to keep taking them away. I got lots of wool, though. 207 tons of crowns from selling the wool. You know. If I want, I can buy some cows to build this economy up. In fact, you know what? Let's do it. Don't want to do too many. let me, you kind of have to do some math here. So I have 48 cows. I have 130, 300. So if I bought, say, 52, that put me at 100. That would have 1,000 people, could feed 1,000 people. So let's say I just bought. So this is 1,000. Let's go with, boom. Let's just go with 100, actually. Let's build it. And then you just put these cows in a population here. Gonna require a ton of herders. But just for one turn, we'll just take care of the cows. And then we're probably not going to plant anything next turn. Like I might stop planting grain, or just cut down on how many grains I plant. And that can produce full rations, losing nothing. It's pretty crazy, but I didn't even spend all my money. Okay. Okay, so now we're just gonna straight up, boom. I don't care about, we're not gonna plant as much grain as we usually do. We don't need to. Because our cows are now multiplying faster than the population. So we literally do not have to plant that much grain. Eat grain. When we go back, still gonna eat grain. Don't even have to eat any grain, honestly. We could actually double the rations if we wanted. I mean, so we've hit a point where we don't even really need grain. So actually, we're not going to plant any grain. Let's not even bother. Let's make some weapons. I'm going to do some miners, some weapons. And we're just going to focus on, we're not going to plant any grain, actually. I think we should we don't have to worry about grain at all. Who cares about grain? Or we can just multiply the amount of cows we have and not worry about grain at all. Because with that covers 90 people. We all have grain to supplement anyway. So yeah, let's just do it. You can think whatever they want. I think I might end the video here though. See, like, I basically reached resource independence. I feel like this is a milestone of sorts. Boom. So let's just save it as vid 1 and exit to DOS. Boom.